let's go ahead and get started with the June 10th, 2026 City of Citrus Heights Council meeting. First, let me say that we have nothing to report from our closed session. And let's go ahead with roll call, please. Or excuse me, let's start with our flag salute. Please stand if you're able. All right, next item, please.
I'll take the roll call. Councilmember Karpinski Costa.
Present.
Councilmember Nelson.
Present.
Councilmember Schaefer.
Here.
Vice Mayor Middleton.
Present.
And Mayor Lopez Taff.
Here, next item, please.
This meeting of the Citrus Heights City Council is being recorded with closed captioning. The recording will be cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel, on the Comcast and DirecTV U-verse cable systems. And it will replay, and the recording will replay on Monday, June 15th at 9 a.m. and again on Saturday, June 20th at 2 p.m. This meeting can be viewed on the city's YouTube channel, the live broadcasting on the city's YouTube channel.
All right, next item, please.
Next item is approval of agenda.
Move approval.
I'll second.
All right, looks like I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, we have an agenda. Next item, please.
Next item is presentation number 4, presentation by the Citrus Heights Police Department for National Night Out on August 4th, 2026.
All right, and we have Sergeant Jones presenting. Welcome.
Microphone's not on.
You turn on.
Hello.
There we go.
There we go.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council, Mr. City Manager. Good evening. I'm Sergeant David Jones. I'm the supervisor of the Citrus Heights POP unit. And tonight, I would like to invite our community to National Night Out, which is going to take place on Tuesday, August 4th, later on this summer. So let's talk about what National Night Out is doing. So it's the nation's night out against crime. This is a campaign that was launched in 1984. It's an annual community building campaign that promotes police-community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie. It brings residents, businesses, and first responders together. It strengthens neighborhood and spirit engagement, as well as public safety awareness. And it encourages crime prevention and drug prevention awareness. So what is the public supposed to expect? Neighborhood block parties and barbecues. Meet and greet opportunities with police officers and various city departments and our officials. Our mayor or city council will be a part of this as well, our city manager. Last year we had over 13 different neighborhoods that participated in this event. I expect to have more this year. We want to gather information on neighborhood issues. We want to develop and foster our relationships within our community. And we want to make sure that we can provide some answers to the questions that the public might have, but also ask our own questions, so that way we can see what's going on in our local neighborhoods and our business communities. But most of all, we got to have some fun. So why does National Night Out actually matter? Well, it improves the communication between residents and law enforcement. It builds trust through positive interaction. It increases neighborhood awareness and reporting, and it creates a safer and more connected neighborhood and a vibrant city. This is about strengthening community resilience. So who can sign up? Well, neighborhood residents and neighborhood watch groups, apartment communities and homeowners associations, local businesses and various retail centers, as well as our community volunteers, religious institutions, local schools, and nonprofits. To register the National Night Out event and to fill out a application, if you will, All you have to do is just use your cell phone to scan that QR code. Matter of fact, it's pretty easy to do. For those of you that are in the audience, please, if you want to, just go ahead and take your phone, put it on that QR code, open up your photo, and you'll be able to scan and open up that National Night Out Event Center. You can also go to our website, click on the National Night Out banner, fill out a brief form to register, and registration is completely free. National Night Out is about safety. Everyone feels safer when they actually know who their neighbors are, and we have these conversations with the people in our community. Council, any questions? Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight.
Thank you, Sergeant Jones. Do we have any questions or comments?
Comment here.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
just want to thank you so much for a great presentation. I look forward to National Night Out. It's always a great event every year.
Can I just make a comment? Yes. I just want to thank the police department for their presence at these events. That people, if you weren't there, they wouldn't have it. You know, so they really do look forward to the police presence, and so I thank you for that participation.
Thank you.
And I want to echo the sentiment of my colleagues here. I really believe, too, it is for those residents who do not go and participate regularly in their neighborhood association meetings. This is a great opportunity to meet your neighbors, maybe attend for the first time your neighborhood association gathering, and get to meet some wonderful folks, including our PD. So thank you. Any additional comments? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you on the 4th of
On
August.
the 4th.
Next item, please.
Our next item is public comment. Members of the public may address the city council during the meeting. They're asked to please fill out a speaker sheet and give it to myself, the city clerk. When you're called upon to speak, please step forward to the podium and state your name for the record. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and the mayor has the discretion to adjust the allotted time. There is a countdown display that will flash red at the end of the allotted time. Consistent with the Brown Act, the council is prohibited from engaging in a discussion or taking action on any item not appearing on the agenda. And I do have one public comment speaker card for general public comment, and then I have one for agenda item 13 that I'll hold until that item. So I'd like to call forward Gigi.
Hello, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I want to take a moment. I want to take a moment to speak about the importance of how elected officials and public representatives interact with the people they serve. Being a constituent means placing trust in our local government and believing that our voices matter. Even when there are disagreements, questions, or concerns, every resident deserves to be treated with courtesy, professionalism, and respect. Recently, I had an interaction that was meant to make me feel dismissed and undervalued. It didn't do that, I assure you. It made me angry. While I won't focus on the individual circumstance, I do want to emphasize that small acts of kindness, patience, and respect can make a tremendous difference in how residents perceive their local government. We may not always agree, but we should always strive to treat one another with dignity. Positive communication builds trust, strengthens community relationships, and reminds people that their participation is welcome and valued. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Gigi. Do we have any other speaker cards?
I just received one additional speaker card, but it's for, also for agenda item number 13.
All right, let's have our next item, please.
The next item is comments by council members and regional board updates.
All right, let's start with Councilmember Nelson.
Thank you very much, Mayor. In lieu of any meetings to report out on, I just wanted to encourage attendance for the Sunrise Farmers Market and shout it out. I have, as a 7-month pregnant woman, attended the farmers market on several of the past Saturdays. And it's really nice to get local produce, local products, and it's just a fun time. They have live music out there, so I encourage everyone to head on out.
Sounds good. All right, let's go with Dr. Jana Karpinski-Costa.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since the last council meeting, on the 20th and 29th, I went to the online NUSA conference. This year, they did a virtual conference instead of having to go to hotels and pay for airfare and everything. So I did the 2-day thing. It's not as nice as going to them in person. I took away a couple of good resources, which I wrote down and I'll share with my neighborhood. On that Saturday, I went to the San Juan Community Foundation Achieve Awards, which is their scholarships, and at Casabella, and it was very moving to watch, I don't know, maybe a dozen or 24 kids get scholarships named after various people who set foundations and scholarships, so I was very moved by that. See the achievement of the students in our city and in our district, school district. I had everything written down, and then I lost my sheet of paper. And then I went to a ribbon cutting for 30 years that the electric, what was that place, Mayor, that we went to, the Electric Golf Cart Company. And they do service my golf cart, which is a neighborhood electric vehicle. So every now and then, we go down there and get that serviced. We went Saturday to the Habitat for Humanity, opened the 7 houses for the first 7 residents of Sayonara to get their keys. On Tuesday, yesterday, went to the SMUD Summit. Our mayor spoke. Casey and Megan did a great job presenting the Sunrise Tomorrow plan to the attendees, which was, I'd say there were about 30, 40 people there. And it was nice to share our vision with some other people. That was cool. And then I went to the Low Vision Support Group. I need to tell people, this is a really good, there are very many, I'm low vision. I can't see who's sitting in the audience. It's a really nice place to get resources. Elena Thompson came one time and talked at the podium about this group, and new people are showing up. We meet the second Tuesday of every month at the Public Sylvan Library at 2 o'clock. And the resources I have learned for people, it's amazing the resources you can get. I mean, people are just in awe of, they don't know things that exist for low vision people to help you maneuver yourself in a seeing world. And so it is there was actually a lady there last time who heard this announcement from the council bench, and she showed up. She lives in your neighborhood. So it was nice to see her there, and she was very grateful for the information she received. So I do promote this. We need to reach out. There are many low vision people in our community. If you know someone with low vision, there's ways to get there with SAC-RT Flex. Councilmember Schaefer sits on the RT board. You can ride just pretty much anywhere within Citrus Heights and around town for $2.50. And you don't need an Uber, and they come to your door and they take you where you're going, and it's really a good program. So it's online at SAC-RT Flex, and it's a great program. So I commend that, and especially if you're low vision, you can't drive. So anyway, that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Schaefer.
Well, thank you, Mayor. So on June 1st, I had a SACOG Policy and Innovations Committee meeting, and where we got a legislative update from Washington, D.C., and there is a bill, it's an infrastructure bill going through Congress, probably not going to pass this year before the midterms, but either way, depending on it according to political or consultant, doesn't matter which party takes control of Congress, this bill is going to go through. Like I said, it's an infrastructure bill. And this in particular has bridge maintenance involved in it. We have a lot of bridges here. According to Regina, is she here? Yes. I think it was 63 bridges, something like that. 68. Anyway, we have a lot of bridges here. Most people don't realize we have a lot of bridges. We have a lot of creeks. With every creek comes, like, I think, creeks carry just a lot of bridges. So, and I really look forward to an infrastructure bill where we can advantage some of that funding to really bring our city up to speed on from an infrastructure standpoint. But again, according to Politico, this is a very bipartisan bill. The first step of it passed there was only like 6 votes out of all of the House that didn't vote for it. So it's pretty bipartisan for sure, and so I think it's going to pass next year. So that was exciting to hear. I do want to announce that SAC-RT Flex, this was announced on this last Monday, SAC-RT Flex is expanding their hours. They're now going to move to offer Saturday service. Right now, it's Monday through Friday, and starting, I think it's July 1st, it's going to be offered on Saturdays as well. So, then we, this last Monday, I had a SAC-RT board meeting where we ordered another 65 light rail cars. And that's great for our local economy. They're being built by Siemens down in South Sacramento. Love to keep in all that $331 million local. So very excited about that. So with that, that's really all I have.
All right, well, thank you. What are you up to, Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see. First, I want to say, congratulations to all the folks in the San Juan School District who have graduated. My youngest child promoted to middle school, and there were lots of tears and happiness there. And I want to make sure everyone knows that it's summertime. Stay hydrated and make sure you watch out for our youth who are out there having fun in our local parks. As for business, I was at the Habitat for Humanity Sayonara dedication on the 6th with my colleagues, and those 8 families, wow, if you could have seen the joy, the pride, just the incredible sense of, accomplishment that these individuals expressed at having their home, those keys in their hand and walking in for the first time, and just, I couldn't believe how welcoming they were to us, just showing us around, showing us their whole house. It was just so incredible. And on the 4th of June, I went to the Metro Cable Commission meeting, and there was some very intense budget discussions that resulted in an ad hoc committee to help find any efficiencies, because we do have dwindling PEG funding and budget shortfalls that we have to address. And so hopefully by the first meeting in September, we will be on a path to have some real solutions there. And that is all.
All right, well, thank you, Vice Mayor. I have been busy as usual. I attended my SAC Library Board meeting on the 28th, where we discussed our budget and passed a budget. We have also, on the same day, I meet with my SAC Metro Air Quality Management Board, and on the 29th, I went to do something very fun. We made good on our ice cream celebration promise to Kingswood K-8. We worked with their 7th and 8th graders, and that's just a lot of fun. Giving an award of ice cream parties is the way to go. I pretty much feel we should do that for everything. On the 29th, I participated in my SB 827 certification. There's the fun and the boring. The fundamentals of municipal finances and financial management. I think that's really important, because all elected officials need to have a baseline level of information of being able to understand finances, because municipal finances are actually somewhat different in understanding. And I'm very proud to say that I understood the majority of the presentation, because we do an excellent job here in the city with staff educating us council members and having open and constant dialogue about budget issues. I also participated in the ribbon cutting, as Dr. Jana mentioned. I also have a policy committee that I am on the board of at Cal Cities, and I am on the board, the committee of environmental quality, and so we hear anything regarding air, water, things of that nature. And this particular meeting, we had a very robust discussion on a ballot measure that's being floated called Building an Affordable California Act, and it is some amendments and proposed updates to CEQA. And Our committee, after a very, very long discussion, decided to oppose this particular ballot measure because it on one hand does too much and not enough. And so when you get confusion in the bill language, it's better to oppose than to approve something that may or may not get amended for better clarity. And so our committee decided to forward in opposition to that particular ballot measure. Of course, the joy on Saturday's Habitat for Humanity's key ceremony, I had the distinct honor of handing keys to Sinar and Nizreen and their family and their beautiful children. It really was a culmination of a lot of hard work, both from the community, but most especially these wonderful and deserving families. They put in not only 500 hours of sweat equity, but, a lot of introspection and inspection of their durability financially. And I think that makes a great contribution to the community, to know that they are able and that they are reassured that they are able to have this wonderful asset. And I cannot express to you how excited they were to be new community members to Citrus Heights, and how they felt the love and camaraderie from both staff and the community members they've interacted with. So hats off to everyone in Citrus Heights who have been so welcoming to this first batch of 8 families. We also had our Cal Cities Sac Valley Division Board meeting. I sit on that board as well. We are welcoming the region to our area to talk about the Sunrise Project and the Sunrise Sports Complex this coming Friday. Very excited to host that, where we can show off to our colleagues the economic development that we have happening in Citrus Heights. Attended a budget committee meeting here locally, and then, of course, gave a welcome to the SMUD Connexus Economic Summit. And again, echoing Dr. Jana, well done, Casey and Megan, on your presentation and the enthusiasm that you shared with our colleagues. And that's it for me. All right, it looks like we have our next item, please.
Mayor, the next item is consent calendar. And before I read all of the items on consent calendar, we just received a public comment card for one of the items under consent. And I know that we have already closed the general public comment session, but I just wanted to make the council aware of that if you would like to hear from the member of the public before considering the consent calendar item.
And what item is it?
It's number 7. The subject is second reading, ordinance amending Citrus Heights Municipal Code, Chapter 22, Businesses, Article 8, massage establishments.
Okay, let's pull that so we can hear the public comment. And go ahead and read the remaining.
The remaining consent calendar items are item 5, calling the November 3rd, 2026 general municipal election and requesting consolidated with the statewide general election. Item 6, revisions to regional board appointments. Item 8, second reading, 2026 zoning code amendments. Item 9, authorized sole source purchase for traffic signal detection material. Item 10, Senate Bill 1, road maintenance and rehabilitation account funding and project expenditure plan for fiscal year 26-27. Item 11, award of 2026 street maintenance services agreements. Item 12, resolution of attention to record delinquent solid waste charges, penalties, and interest on the property tax roll.
Okay, with the exception of item number 7, do I have a motion?
Move approval?
Okay, I have a motion, and I heard a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, let's hear number 7's public comment.
Is it Daniel Howells? Yes. Okay, if you could please come to the podium, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. I don't even need 3 minutes. I just wanted to talk about the massage changes that are being proposed, and I know I missed it last week. I had to be at the store. I wasn't able to be here. So thank you for allowing me to speak. I just wanted to make one thing really clear. A lot of the stuff that's on there is in need, And if you look at the changes they made in Roseville, you'll see a lot of empty buildings. And bless them, man. I mean, the whole community's coming together for this. I just really wanted to get a couple things clarified on there. I have it pulled up, so give me just 1 second to.
Can I ask who you are?
Oh, my name is Dan House, and my wife and I, we own Good Hands Massage right here in Citrus Heights. The language that I wanted to see if they would clarify is using the term anatomical areas. So they put this in there and it says the exposing of anatomical areas. But the whole body is an anatomical area. And some people may, smile or laugh and say, well, you obviously know what we're talking about, but we can't trust that going forward, whoever's sitting in your seats would feel the exact same way. So I'm hoping they could just clarify the language on what they hope we can, enforce, because it's not clear as to what they're looking for us to do.
Can we hear the item, Mayor?
Yeah, we do have Lieutenant Dunning here. Are we able to respond to that very, very specific question?
Agendized.
So but the council needs to ask staff the question. It doesn't come from a member of the public. So if you'd like Lieutenant Dunning to answer the question to the extent he's comfortable doing that, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Yes, Lieutenant Dunning, would you mind answering the question on anatomical areas?
Yes, good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. So the anatomical areas, it's a term that's actually further described in the definition section, which lays out exactly what parts of the body are considered anatomical.
That's my fault then for not grabbing that. I appreciate that. Let's see here.
Yeah, let's confirm that before we move on, because I think with that specific, that would be a question of clarification if it's not otherwise defined.
It is on page 24.
Okay, so it is defined.
24. Amendment, renewal, amendment, suspension, addition. Oh, this is, okay. Agenda packet 24, 23 and 24.
And I can read that. It says specified anatomical areas means.
Can you see, I'm on 24, I see exemptions from article in the middle of the page. Am I on the wrong page?
It's right above that, sir.
Thank you. Specified article, less than completely and opaquely covered.
And
Human genitals, public regions, buttocks, or female breasts below a point immediately above the top, and human.
There is a typo, I suppose. It says public regions instead of pubic.
Yeah, and most of that's fine. Buttocks are a big muscle group that you work a lot during massage, so that should be everybody. I suppose that's the thing that I wanted to get lumped out of there, because we work glutes in every massage, as should be done, unless somebody says I'm sore, please don't do that. I don't know if that's something that is, if I'm too late, hey, I'm too late, I understand, I should have been here at the last meeting. But I just wanted to throw that out there to make sure that we're all singing from the same sheet of music.
I appreciate that. So Ryan, what can we do from here? It seems like an amendment that seems reasonable. I don't know if my colleagues have any other opinions. I think we should absolutely make sure the typo is corrected, because that is very important, a very important difference. And so Ryan, what can we do at this point?
Yeah, procedurally, we're here for a second reading, so absolutely, council can continue to make changes. It is not ordinance yet. If you want to make a modification, please give direction to staff so we know what change you'd like us to bring back for the next reading. What we can't do, though, is adopt the second reading tonight with a modification. So you'll just give us, will give us the change to the extent the majority wants to do that, and then at the next council meeting, we come back and we'd adopt it at that point.
Okay.
Can I ask if other jurisdictions, did we model our ordinance off another? Do they have an answer to this question? or is that already a thing?
So the two jurisdictions that we modeled our ordinance amendments on, they're actually more defined as what anatomical areas are.
They include
Throughout. So
glute?
we include it in specific sections, but it's defined in our definitions exactly what those areas are.
Okay, so do we have some direction for Lieutenant Dunning to rewrite this so it can be up for consideration next meeting? What's the sense?
No, he said we'd adopt it with the amendment, with the change.
No, we cannot tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
You'd give us direction to come back at the next meeting for adoption.
oh, okay.
Okay.
I would just like to move that we correct the typo.
Okay, so we do have a motion to correct the typo or direction to correct the typo without any other change?
And can I clarify something for the
Yes.
council? A typo could be adopted tonight, and we wouldn't need to come back. If it's just purely changing that, we consider that a Scrivener's error. That's not a substantive change.
Okay.
So if the council, if there's a second to the motion and a majority approves that, it would be adopted tonight, and we wouldn't make any other modifications.
Okay.
I'd like to ask
I did not
a
hear a
question of the
second.
lieutenant. I want to, oh, for that, for the typo.
Yeah.
I'll second, but I have a question for the lieutenant. Is what he's saying doable? Is it something we can change? Or does it give new meaning to the definition of anatomical?
It would not, so the change in the amendment to the ordinance was the anatomical areas of female customer. The anatomical area definition and throughout the ordinance has been remained the same since 2018. And also, the language that is defined, I think Mr. Howell's speaking about like the buttocks area, that verbiage is consistent in other ordinances for areas that cannot be touched while a massage is being given.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I seconded the typo.
Well, we have a first and a second for this particular second reading to adopt it as an ordinance. All right. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, looks like we have an ordinance.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 13. The subject is consideration of renaming of Sayonara Drive. And there are two suggested recommendations for city council consideration. The first is to adopt a resolution approving the renaming of Sayonara Drive and taking the actions necessary to implement the street name change, or maintain the existing street name and take no further action.
Good evening, Council. Allison Bermudez with the Planning Division here tonight. With this item before you, this is the potential renaming of Sayonara Drive. As you know, Sayonara Drive has been going under complete revitalization over the last few years. And back in December, this council requested that staff look into considering changing the name. And then in March, we discussed it, and you directed us to do some outreach on that possibility. So that is what we're here tonight, is to present to you the results of the outreach and then ask for your direction. Our outreach started right after that last meeting in March. We did mail a survey to every property owner and every tenant along Sayonara Drive. They received a paper mail. Survey in the mail. They were able to respond through self-addressed stamped envelope to return to us, or they could go online and respond to the survey. We did include Habitat for Humanity in those mail surveys. They own 26 lots, and they did coordinate the collection of that survey information from their known 8 recent property owners. We also did notify that same mailing list of the workshop. We held a workshop here at City Hall on April 15th, allowed them to come in and ask questions, help them with why we're doing it, and then help them answer any questions they might have on how that would proceed. So that was on April 15th. And then we also notified the same list of tonight's meeting. The survey did go out to 174 properties or tenants. That included property owners, many that don't live there, as well as their tenants. So 174 mailer surveys. 16 were returned as undeliverable or the homes were vacant. So that netted about 158 surveys that were distributed. We did receive 37 responses by return mail or online. So it's a 23% response rate. The results of that survey showed of the 37 responded, 25 of them supported it, about 68%. We had 9 oppositions, and then 3 returned the survey as undecided. I just want to note that of those 37 response, 24 of them were with Habitat for Humanity, either through Habitat for Humanity or the future property owners, those 8 property owners. Of those 24, 21 supported the name change, 1 opposed, and 1 was undecided. The feedback we heard varied. The supporters viewed the change as part of the revitalization. Others stated, few know the history of Sayonara. The name change would be ineffective. They preferred the focus to be on infrastructure, maintenance, and enforcement improvements. And then there was a lot of concerns expressed about the inconvenience. Couple comments I wanted to share. One respondent wrote, "I like the name Sayonara Drive. As a future homeowner to the streets, it's almost like goodbye to my previous situation." Another one wrote, "I love the idea. We owned a property for 30-plus years and worked hard to make it nice, despite the obstacles. Thanks for investing to improve our street." The impact, should you move this forward, if the name is changed, we have 8 street signs that we would have to replace, including the 2 mast overheads that are on Sunrise. Estimated cost of that signage and installation is just over $10,000. The timeline is about 8 to 12 weeks from implementation, from ordering the sign, scheduling installation, and then working with the property owners and tenants on the name change process. So as mentioned, there's 2 options. You can select a new name and adopt the resolution. If we change the name, it would have to be through resolution. I did provide a list of potential names. In that survey, we did solicit, if we change the name, give us some ideas. So we've taken that list and reviewed them, as well as other comments that we received. And the names, some names have been vetted and provided to you in your packet, should that be the way you want to go. Then option 2, we could retain the name Sayonara Drive, and things would stay as is, and possibly revisit in the future should you choose, or not do anything in the future. So those are the 2 options I have for you. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments from my colleagues?
I just have a comment.
Okay,
So we have 7 names plus keeping Sayonara the same, so that's 8. There's 5 of us. Let's all pick one. Let's all try to revolve around, come to agreement on one, because it could be tough. I don't know what we do if we come to we're undecided on which.
Well,
name
I'm
or-
for option 2, to keep the name. I'd like to wait till all the other people move in and look at it at a future time.
Let's make a motion.
Well, I don't know how other people feel.
yeah, let's continue with our comments first and questions, if we have them for Allison.
I like the idea of waiting till all the new residents are on the street and then doing this process again. All the new families that are there should have the opportunity to have a place in deciding whether or not it should change or not, and if it does, what the name should be. I don't think between the 5 of us, we can come up with, we can agree on a name, right? Amy might have to whip out her little chart that we use for like the planning commission selections. Yeah.
Yeah, Councilmember Nelson.
Thank you, Mayor. I can definitely appreciate that consideration to wait until all of the new homeowners are in. So it sounds like we need a motion.
All right, yeah. Any other comments?
Mayor, I just wanted to state that we did have 2 public comment speakers.
Oh, yes, let's pause here and hear our public comments. Thank you.
So first, I'll call Kathy Morris.
Mayor and council, As you might know, excuse me, I do not live in that area. I do, however, live in Citrus Heights and have for about 25 years. When I first came here, I knew quite a bit about, or actually nothing about the city, but quite about that area. Sayonara, bad area, ooh, awful, terrible. But now it isn't. Now it is a wonderful area, and it's really something to be proud of. I'm personally, as I say, I don't live in that area. I'm just a member of the city. I like the idea that it was bad and now it's good. And I think that keeping the name the same, so we remember things can change for the better, and it's still there. I like the name. I like the idea that it came from bad to good, and we should keep it there. Like I say, I live in Area 7. I don't live over there, but I do live in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We have another speaker.
And I'll ask Michael Gordon, I'm sorry.
Good evening. I'm
Welcome.
Michael Gordon. I'm with Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento. And I want to thank you all that came out on Saturday for the dedication and spent your time. And, you know, representing Habitat, I want to thank Allison, Sergeant Jones, the staff, everyone that's made this possible for us. And it's been an incredible experience. The whole 3 years, let's say, getting to where we're at. And it's just been an incredible experience, and Habitat really appreciates everyone. As far as the name change goes, you know, Habitat we're open to whatever anyone wants. If the name got changed, great. If the name didn't get changed, great. What I heard, and it sounds really, is waiting until everybody's there. You know, it should be, we believe, a community decision, you know, everyone involved. And so, you know, as a reporter was asking me earlier, I moved here in 1989. You know, I heard, you know, a lot about Sayonara, everything going on, everything bad. I haven't heard that in a long time. You know, and I think that's a big kudo to Sergeant Jones and his team and the city. And I think there was a speaker at the dedication that said, a phrase I loved was, "Home has a new address." And I think this is a new address. And our 8 new homeowners that got their keys, got to move in, as everybody said, it's amazing and makes us why we do what we do. So we're here to support whatever you decide, and whatever it needs to be, it'll be. And we really appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Okay, I will entertain a motion.
I move option 2.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes, and we will retain Sayonara.
But I do think the one explanation of sayonara, meaning that the old sayonara is sayonara. You know? So
It is a little bit ironic, but, you know, I think we can appreciate that as a community. So thank you so much to your work, Allison, in really interacting with the community members, making sure voices were heard. And I think if there is an interest, we'll revisit this in the future.
And I
Thank
just want to
you.
make a comment to Sergeant Jones. When we were there Saturday, the residents were complaining about speeding, that it's hard for them to even cross the street. So maybe we need to have some traffic look at over there, see what's going on.
All right, thank you. Next item, please.
Our next item is regular calendar, item number 14. The subject is America's 250-year anniversary mural installation at City Hall. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution approving the recommended mural as voted on by the public for installation at City Hall.
All right, welcome, Regina.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members. Regina Cave, your General Services Director. I'm here before you this evening regarding our proposed mural that came before council back in May. As council may recall, Citrus Heights Arts proposed to lead the efforts on a City Hall mural here on City Hall building on one of our external walls as a project to celebrate Citrus Heights community as well as America's 250-year anniversary. At that meeting, council did approve the mural request and concept, as well as an allocation of $6,000 in community support grant funds towards those mural efforts. At that time, direction was also given to Citrus Heights Arts and staff to return to council for approval of a selected mural following community input and voting on recommended designs. Right after that meeting, within about a week, Citrus Heights Arts did push out information on social media with 4 different renderings and looking to get votes and input from the community. Those votes were tallied, and there were some restrictions that were put. So just to make sure that we were trying to capture votes from, or Citrus Heights Arts was trying to capture votes from Citrus Heights residents and not outside of the community to the best extent that they could do that. There was a little over 800 votes casted, and before you is option 1, received 171 votes, which was the 3rd place by way of votes. Option 2 received 276 votes, and this did come in 1st place. Option 3 received 240 votes, which was the 2nd most votes. And option 4 received 147 votes in 4th place. So the recommendation to council this evening is to approve the mural as voted on by the public for installation here on City Hall. And I'm here for any questions. And Gigi is also here with Citrus Heights Arts to answer any questions that you may have regarding the process as well.
All right, first, do we have any questions or comments for Regina? Yes.
Question. So, Regina, with the voting, I know I filled it out, and all it asked at the end was my zip code. Could I have voted more than once?
I would defer to Ms. Rayford.
Did you try?
No.
Oh, well, we'll never know.
Okay, well, I will say, not that I'm a cheater, but I did stress test to see if you could vote more than once. I could not.
Okay.
So,
Did you try?
I did try.
And did it go through?
No, it did not go through, but by result, I think it might have been restricted to your IP address, so my husband could not vote. So sucks to suck, I guess. I don't know.
Any other comments? Any
No,
further
Okay,
comments?
that was question. Okay.
So on the,
One moment. We have,
Oh, I did have a comment. Seeing that there was such a tight turnaround, I don't know how Citrus Heights Arts was able to get 800 folks to participate, but if you were watching the online forum, these folks were going back and forth, debating the merits of each one of these murals. It was ridiculous how engaged folks were. Thank you so much for putting that forward and for getting our community really excited about what's coming here to Citrus Heights.
I have to agree with that, but let's take Councilmember Schaefer's comment.
so my only comment is on the image itself, and I just want, this neighborhood that we have here that's really kind of square apartment buildings, we don't have a neighborhood in this.
It's not going to be that.
What's it?
It's not going to be that. This is merely a conceptual thing.
Okay.
So it'll have a lot of like the tree, the flag, of course, the welcome to Citrus Heights. There will be the sun ray in the back. These will all be restructured, though.
Okay.
The artists will do it. And they will put in whatever is here. Like the artists who are doing it, one of them is from here. And they're going to do this together and get a rendering that I will send to you all. And please, quick turnaround, 24 hours.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. That would be my only concern with this particular image, and other than that, I like it a lot. I think it looks great.
Portia, is this the one you voted for?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I think our public did a very, very good job. Councilmember Nelson, let's not forget your voice.
Thank you, Mayor. I am very excited about this, and thank you for putting it out to the public and gathering all of the support and the input. I had the same question: will the artists themselves actually, render this? So I'm excited to hear yes. I'm looking forward to seeing the final rendering from them.
All right. All I wanted to say was, I think this is a great way to honor and participate in our 250th year of our nation. And I know that was your intent, to bring that honor to Citrus Heights as a participating city. And I think, this is our version of a flash vote, right? I think our city really, thank you to Megan for priming our city for participation in this quick turnaround way. So I really, really appreciate your work on this, and thank you, Regina, for supporting on the staff side. Okay, do we have any other comments? Yes.
I do. It's comment, so I read the paragraph about the agreement that will be generated. And I just want to, it says agreement will address items such as duration of the exhibit, may requested modifications to the artwork, future rotation opportunities, and other project considerations. I'm just wondering if anything is going to require further council approval, like
No, not at this time.
removing it.
That would be at the discretion of the city manager.
Oh, okay. Because I hope it stays for a while. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
So I just don't, I know, it just looks like you want to get rid of it before it's even up.
Well, I think the language was written in there so that we can make sure that it is in honor of the 250-year and not a permanent installation.
I thought it was.
That's the alternative.
Correct, and that there's flexibility. So if Citrus Heights Arts does come, or another group were to come in the future and ask to do an art piece, that could be taken under consideration as well.
Maybe you want to celebrate 75 years of cityhood or something, so got
Yeah,
to stay
and-
flexible.
Right.
I see,
You have to
okay.
be
And we
flexible.
purposefully did not
50
put
years.
250 so that it would have longevity.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
For some reason, I thought this rotating was about Art in City Hall. I had that all wrong.
Okay, so any further discussion, points of clarification? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, we're going to have a mural. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 15. The subject is Citrus Heights Arts Grant Reallocation Request. The recommendation is to receive the request from Citrus Heights Arts to amend the approved use of fiscal year 25-26 Nonprofit Community Support Fund award and provide direction.
All right, welcome, Megan.
Thank you. Good evening, Council. I'm Megan Huber, Economic Development and Community Engagement Director. No deck for this item. It's pretty short and simple. The reason this is before Council this evening is because the allocated grant that's been requested for consideration is part of our Nonprofit Community Support Grant Program, which is reviewed by Quality of Life Council Committee and then comes to Council for consideration, hence the request here this evening. So backing up a smidge, the City of Citrus Heights allocates a certain amount of general funds annually, pending budget approval, to support nonprofits in Citrus Heights that provide programs and services to Citrus Heights residents. The previous fiscal year, or this current fiscal year 25-26, we allocated to 9 nonprofits, one of which is Citrus Heights Arts, who requested and was approved for $12,000 to produce the 3rd annual Art Beat event here in Citrus Heights. And recently, we received a request from Citrus Heights Arts. That request letter is in the staff report that details the reasoning for the reallocation and an alternative proposal. And staff is here looking for feedback from council this evening. And then Executive Director of Citrus Heights Arts, Gigi Rayfield, is here for any questions.
All right, now we have folks on the art committee. So do you have any feedback for this particular item? I'm looking to Councilmember Nelson or Councilmember Karpinski.
I'm not on that.
Oh, sorry, Vice Mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, any feedback?
No, I think it's appropriate and a reasonable request.
Okay. Councilmember Nelson, any additional comment?
It may be addressed here, I'm sure you know. I was wondering about the cost of the different projects. The mural project, for instance, $8,000, is that That's not the total amount it's going to cost for that project, right?
Which one?
For the 52 individual mural squares?
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay, I figured, because
Oh, no.
compared to
By no means.
the 250th being 6,000, I thought,
And it's
okay.
not even, we're adding $2,000 to that.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
okay, okay, thank you.
To clarify that, so you're adding, the nonprofit is adding $2,000 to help support that?
Yeah, because the artists they won't make money if they paint it for that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, fair, very fair. Thank you.
All right, so it sounds like our committee agrees with this particular, any other questions? Jana, did you have a question?
Well, no, I think Art in City Hall is a great event. It engages everybody, and it's always good to see our local artists, for the nearsighted, right up front. I'm just not positive I want to take the rest of it and do another mural with it. I'm wondering if we couldn't do a mini art beat or some other event that the public can attend, and see some of the artisans in it. I
You wanna
really
do it
liked the
right
art
here?
beat. I loved the art beat that we had at Birdcage, and so.
Well, you can do it right here.
Well, I think,
What do you think, what you're suggesting, just to have it?
Well, I don't want to get us too
No.
far out of the scope of what's actually on the,
Right.
here.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm not sure I'll support the mural project part of it, but I do like the Art in City Hall part.
okay, I don't think that was the question.
Oh.
So the specific question is, are we going to approve the amendment request?
So the mural that we're talking about is the 52, thereabouts 53 squares that are 4.5 height and 8 wide, 8 feet, we're talking feet. And there are, like I said, about 53 of those. That's the one that everybody's complaining about because we were respectful of Ron Ferns and let his flowers grow and die. So that's the mural we're talking about.
And where's it go? Where's it go?
Oh, it's already there. We've already done some of the work. It's on.
It's the one that's been incomplete because they had to wait for the poppies. It's the poppy flower guy who goes and plants all the flowers along the wall.
Where is it? On
Hold on.
Auburn?
Auburn.
Right past Costco going towards Greenback.
Okay, thanks for that clarification.
To
Okay,
finish that out. Yeah, got it.
okay, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Okay, so let's get back on track, everybody. So the question is to allow this amendment of the already allocated dollars. Do I have a motion to that?
And Mayor, if I can, one more point of clarification. We worked really quickly to get this in front of you so that Citrus Arts could continue with their really great aggressive planning for arts in the community. There is a discrepancy between the total amount of the request and the original budget allocation. Executive Director Rayford and I were able to huddle very quickly before the meeting, and we've confirmed that we are only looking to reallocate that existing dollar amount. So the original amount is $12,000, and then that is the reallocation request as well.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so a total of $12,000 reallocated to the project specified in this plan.
I'll make a motion, we reallocate to the suggested uses.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we have arts money. Perfect. Next item, please.
Next item is items requested by council members or future agenda items.
Do we have any items you would like to suggest? Councilmember Schaefer.
Thank you, Mayor. So what I would like to bring to a future council is I would like us to consider speed cameras around our city for monitoring and ticketing speeders. It is something that I've heard about many, many times for a long time. And I would like for us to bring that forward at some future council meeting soon about looking into the cost and what the benefits might be for, I did a little bit of research on it, but nonetheless, it looks like it might be something we might be interested in if we heard the whole story.
Okay, so we have a request, and according to our procedures, we need someone to support that.
Tim, I'd be happy to look into that. I would like to know more information as well.
All right.
Make
we
it
have-
free, make it free. I think it's a good idea to look at it.
Okay, it sounds like we have a formal request. Any others? Good one, Tim.
Thank you.
Actually, I brought that up before at someplace.
All right, do we have any others? All right, next item, please.
All right, next item is city manager items.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. Ash Feeney, your city manager. I do have a few updates for you, and some of these were talked about during your own updates, but we've got some imagery to go along with them. One, we've got our upcoming events here on City Scoop. We've been talking a little bit about ice cream. City Scoop is always a hit here in the community, and we have a couple of them to roll out this summer. One is on June 17th in Tempo Park, right next to Arcade Cripple Creek Trail. So for people that want to take the trail and have a cool refreshment, it'll be there for them. And then also another one at Sylvan Middle School on July 15th. Schools are definitely, part of the place here in our community, and we've held one of these in the past at Lycan, and that was a big success. So two great locations at different areas of the city. Come out, connect with your neighbors, a lot of fun. We have this on the mailer that was distributed, and then certainly it's on our webpage, and we'll have some social media on it as it becomes closer. They are evening events, but we'll have the specifics shared, just ahead of those events.
6:30 to 8.
Thank you.
I'll bring the mosquito repellent.
This was really a heartwarming ceremony. You can see the image that is captured there. That was the City of Citrus Heights council members and staff team that were present to give the keys to a family. There were 8 families that received keys to their home that day. And this is part of the city council and the City of Citrus Heights, contribution towards affordable housing. Certainly the land contribution that the city gave made this project possible and has worked closely with Habitat for Humanity to really build a community there. And it was fantastic to see all those neighbors coming together, participating in this ceremony, who put their sweat equity in, and now are going to be experiencing the American dream of homeownership. So terrific ceremony. It was well done by Habitat for Humanity. Lots of great speakers.
Make a comment about the man who moving in. He would work his daytime helping getting his sweat equity in, and he would have a job at night, or by vice versa. He would work 2 jobs. He did 18 hours a day to get into that house, so he worked hard.
And he was ready. His U-Haul was parked around the corner.
Yeah, that's the guy, yeah.
So, but yeah,
pretty
it was a great experience being there. And I also want to just again, Habitat for Humanity spoke to this, but call out to our staff team. Allison Bermudez, Nicole Piva, Casey Kempenar, Sergeant Jones, Daniel Akera. We had a number of staff team members that were involved with this, Armando, just the list goes on and on. But a lot of effort was put into making this a successful project. So
I want to comment. It's like before this all happened, when the old houses were there, before we tore down, Push and I kind of live in that neighborhood. We could hear helicopters every Saturday night. We could hear gunfire. This is just so neat to have this happen in our city. It's just something we couldn't have dreamed of when we tore down the crap that we tore down. This would come up. This looks nice.
Yeah, I'm glad that chapter is long closed. It's been a much safer area for a long time. And certainly it's going to continue to be that. So lots of promise for the future. And then we also are talking about awards that we've been receiving. Our staff has been getting recognized for a lot of the great work that comes out of this city, and we received a economic development reward for our economic development and community engagement director. Megan Huber was recognized as one of North America's top 50 economic developers for 2026. So
wow.
Great to see that honor, and we've been crushing it on the award. So congratulations to Director Huber. Road closure, SMUD substation. So we have, SMUD is going to be returning to replace that transformer. So there's going to be another road closure on Sunrise. That'll be from Monday, June 15th, from 10 to 4 a.m. And that will be affecting from Sayonara to Arcadia in that Sun Hill intersection on the southbound lane. So we'll coordinate on the detour signage and everything there to make sure that, we're dialed in with the community, that they know about it. And I think it went pretty smooth last time we had that happen.
I think this is the third one, right?
I know it's at least the second. Yeah, the second.
And it's gone gone well.
Yeah, gone well,
Any
so,
complaints other than, I heard one complaint, but it's fine.
yeah.
Person complains about everything.
Oh, and that looks like that concludes my presentation.
All right. Do we have any other items? All right, look at that. In record time, we are adjourned.